Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution where you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu condemns Borno suicide attacks, pledging to deal with criminals. In business, Nigerian Economic Summit Group welcomes CBN's move to end price verification system for foreign exchange transactions. On the foreign scene, France vote in high-stakes parliamentary elections. On a sport, Abia Warriors coach blames his team's loss on fatigue. Hello and welcome to all of viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express here on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Edikan Michael. At least 6 persons have been killed and many others injured in a series of bomb attacks in Tashan Maraba, Gwoza Town, Borno State. Confirming the incident, the Director General of the State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Makinde Saudi, said 18 persons died while 19 others were seriously injured in the incident. In a statement by Tinubu's spokesman, Nigerian Galile, the president described the attacks as desperate acts of terror and a clear manifestation of the pressure mounted against terrorists and the success achieved in degrading their capacity to launch offensives. Vice President Kashim Shettima has reiterated the federal government's commitment to the advancement, security, and welfare of the citizens. Shettima gave the assurance when he led a federal government delegation to offer condolences to the Minister of State for Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman, in Kefi, Nassau State Capital. Away from that, 27th state of the Federation and the Federal Capital Authority have failed to assess the 36.1 billion naira education fund provided by the Universal Basic Education Commission in 2023. The 36.1 billion figure is contained in a document prepared by a commission in March 2024, which showed how state-by-state matching grants were not assessed. The document, which was signed by UBEC's Director of Finance and Account, Adamu Miso, indicated that Jigawa, Sokoto, and Sanfara State in the northwest, Borno and Taraba State in the northeast, Nassau State in the north-central, Ondo State in the southwest, Enugu State in the southeast, and Delta State in the south-south have fully assessed their funds. The Defense Police Officers' Wife Association has pledged to support all relevant security agencies to curb drug abuse and sex exploitation of teenagers in the country. President of the association, Musa Al-Ogbogbo, made this known at an event to commemorate the first year anniversary as the 15th president of the POA in Abuja. Kikolomo Kere tells us more.
Sexual exploitation is a serious violation of human rights, affecting millions of people worldwide, particularly women and children, which is devastating, causing physical and emotional harm, stigma, shame, and even death. President, Defense Police Officers' Wives Association, Ogogo Musa, says celebrating the 1 year in the office with the Barrack children and youth is aimed to raise awareness of the danger of illicit drugs as well as sex exploitation, as many cases are underreported.
We saw the need that this should be done because we've been hearing reports here and there, and to mark my money before we go for that, as you heard earlier, we have plans in place to reach out to different schools. They wanted to start with this just to enlighten people and then to see to it that some of these things are really reduced.
Stakeholders at the event says there is need to address the menace of drug abuse and sex exploitation through education, policy, and legal reforms.
about drug abuse, for them to understand that there are dangers in using drugs and it's quite detrimental to their health. We also went ahead to talk to them about how to prevent drug addiction or how to prevent use of drugs, the coping strategies they should use.
When it comes to issues of rape, there's a way the evidence of rape is being taken. You have to take from the sperm on the victim and also take on the accused perpetrator. So if you don't do it at the right time, there's a problem.
Sex exploitation and drug abuse can both be the result of deeper issues such as low self-esteem or history of physical or sexual abuse. The highlights to commemorate the one-year anniversary were presentation by NYSC cultural troops and cutting of the cake. Kikelomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGAN, have agreed to collaborate towards curbing the menace of substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking in communities across the country. This was one of the agreements reached at the meeting when the national president of ALGAN, Aminu Musa, led other leaders of the body of all local government chairmen in the country on a courtesy visit to the chairman and chief executive officer of the agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba, retired at its headquarters in Abuja. The National Insurance Commission has pledged to integrate artificial intelligence, popularly called AI, into the Nigerian insurance sector. Commissioner for Insurance, Olusegun Omosurin, made this disclosure at the 2024 Nigeria Artificial Societal's Annual Industry Conference in Abuja. This move, NACOM says, aligns with the federal government's National Artificial Intelligence Strategy, which aims to position Nigeria as Africa's AI hub. The Turkish embassy in Nigeria has confirmed that there is no visa ban on Nigerian passport holders, as against reports that have raised concern. Reports that earlier surfaced suggesting that Ethiopia, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates had revoked certain privileges for Nigerian passport holders, such as visa on arrival, e-visa, and outright passport issues. Personal Secretary to the Turkish ambassador to Nigeria, Wumi Evelyn, told journalists that there is no visa ban on Nigerian passport holders. Now, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group has backed the recent decision of the Central Bank of Nigeria to discontinue the price verification system for foreign exchange transactions, saying it will remove regulatory bottlenecks and boost macroeconomic stability. In a communique, the group stated that it welcomed the regulatory bank's decision. Away from that, Sushi Economic Rights and Accountability Project has urged Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, to account for and explain the whereabouts of the over 100 billion naira daily and bad notes and other large sum of cash awaiting examination that are kept in various branches of the CBN. SORAP, which made the call through a statement issued by its Deputy Director, Kowalede, said the allegations are documented in the latest annual report recently published by the Auditor General of the Federation. Minister of Agriculture Abubakar Kari says the government of Saudi Arabia has expressed interest in setting up manufacturing factories in Nigeria for farming equipment. Kari said this on his X account following a meeting with stakeholders from the Middle East state. He said the aim is to support Nigeria's agricultural sector through mechanization by establishing the plant in the country. The federal government has threatened to terminate the contract of Julius Berger and King Civil Engineering Construction Corporation over the handling of the Calabar-Itu Road project. Minister of Works David Umahi gave the two construction companies 1 week to remobilize to site or face termination of their contract. Speaking in Uyom during a stakeholders engagement on the alignment of Section 3B and 4 of Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, Umahi gave the contractors marching orders to mobilize to site, saying President Ahmed Tinubu has released enough funds for the project. In its efforts to sustain the ongoing infrastructural development drive in line with renewed hope agenda, the federal government has announced plans to inaugurate the next phase of Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway from Cross River to Akwa Ibom. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, disclosed this at a stakeholders engagement meeting held in Iyo, Akwa Ibom State. And as for security, the Minister of Police Affairs, Ibrahim Gadim, says is intervening in the ongoing face-off between the Police Service Commission and the Nigeria Police Force. After concluding the recruitment exercise, the Commission on June 4th released a list of 10,000 successful applicants for constable and specialist cadre roles in Nigeria Police Force. 11 days later, the police rejected the lead over the allegation that the recruitment exercise was marked by corruption and irregularities. On a sad note, a former Chief of Defense Staff, Ibrahim Ogohi, is dead, an incident said to have occurred in the early hours of today, following a brief illness. In a statement by the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur, in a brief statement, confirmed the news of Ogohi's death, saying the former defense chief served as Chief of Defense Staff between 1999 and 2003. Nigerians have demanded greater transparency and accountability from government regarding its spending priorities. This is in response to the alleged plan of the Senate to approve purchase jets to President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima. Queen Agaba has the details.
Presidential private jet for President Tinubu has elicited widespread public debate, with the majority of Nigerians expressing disapproval due to the prevailing economic hardships.
They are sort of representing themselves and not the masses again, as they were elected. They were primarily elected to represent the masses. They are not. They are representing themselves.
Me, as I stand like this, as a father, you have a father that says, okay, father, can't take care of this country, can't take care of those people, and they work with those people. And the father, now, if your children they feel hungry, you know how you feel someone. So that people where they are around all this misery, if the thing no work, find way.
Wow, if the president want to get a presidential jet, no problem, it's good. It's our president. You understand? We cannot say you should not buy a presidential jet. You understand? We want to buy something that is more presidential jet that you want. But if the president has a jet and it's available, which is more than one or two, and you want to buy a new one, it's not a big thing. We can sell those others one. We will sell those other one. You understand? We can buy the money and buy the new current one for him. You understand? So that we will reduce the cost of the new one.
They can't tell me the past president jet has been abandoned just because it's on his own tenure now. He had to get a new jet. So it doesn't work like that. We have so lot of use in this country already that we are facing. That they should just pity the nation and the hustlers. I don't cast the politicians as hustlers. They are not hustling. We the mere ground floors are the one hustling for them.
Nigerians have called on the government to justify the necessity of the jet purchase and to demonstrate how it will be beneficial to the country. Queen Agaba reporting for Global Television.
You're watching News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing the screen. When News Express returns, France vote in high-stakes parliamentary elections. These and other stories coming right after this break. Please stay with us.
Time check. It's midday. Then it's Midday Discourse. Midday Discourse is a program that covers trending local and international news, current issues, and human-related topics. Join Samuel Odi weekdays 1 p.m. on Global Television. The discussion starts here.
It's time for sports' biggest moments on Global Television. The headlines, scores, breaking news, and commentaries on sporty events. Talking with the biggest players, strikers, and about the slam dunks and goals, stunning saves, near misses, and upsets. Let's talk about the greatest home runs, comebacks, knockdowns, and victories. Talk sports with the king of sports, Anthony Momodu. Weekdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss out.
Beautiful work from the wingers.
Welcome back to News Express and many thanks for staying with us. Now to a foreign scene. People in France have today gone to the polls in the first round of the high-stakes parliamentary elections. This could alter the country's trajectory and see the far-right party of Marine Le Pen take power in a historic first. President Emmanuel Macron stunned the nation by calling snap polls after the far-right National Rally Party's strong showing in European Parliament election this month. Russia's war against Ukraine in its third year and energy and food prices move higher support for the anti-immigrations and the Eurosceptic party as such. Despite Macron's pledges to prevent it hasn't, the two-round vote could put the far right in power in France for the first time since the Nazi occupation in the World War II. Polling stations open across mainland France at AM local and close at midday, immediately followed by projections that usually predict the result with a degree of accuracy. Meanwhile, one person has been killed as 5 others wounded in northeastern France when several masked gunmen opened fire at a wedding ceremony. Sources suggested that the attack in the northeastern city of the Tronville was linked to a settling of scores between drug traffickers. The shooting, according to report, occurred at the reception hall overnight Saturday to Sunday with around 100 people in attendance. 2 people were seriously injured and one of them was in a critical condition. From that, United States President Joe Biden is reportedly making effort to reassure donors after his performance during the first presidential debate with presumptive Republican nominee Donald Trump, rattled Democrats and caused serious doubt about his re-election prospect. The president has been attending fundraisers in an effort to acknowledge concerns, but also promised that he is not abandoning his campaign to command the White House for the next 4 years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin says his country is ending the intense phase of the war in Gaza. However, fighting continues to rage as Israeli troops and tanks advance into the Shohia in the north and Rafah in the south. The Prime Minister said his country is ending the action signals a shift of focus in the simmering conflict on the country's northern border with Lebanon. And on to business. Nigeria's reserve have continued to an upward trajectory, hitting $34.14 billion on Friday, having appreciated by 4.06% from $32.74 billion on June 3, 2024. Data from Central Bank of Nigeria has shown the country's reserves are boosted by the latest round of loans the federal government gets from the World Bank in May. The Bureau of Public Enterprises disclosed that the federal government had secured $500 million World Bank loan to bolster the country's electricity distribution sector. And on sports, Abia Warriors coach Bethel says his team 0-2 loss to the Warriors of Maduguri in Saturday's finals of the President's Federation Cup was due to fatigue. Oji said this in an interview on the sidelines of the defeat in the finals of the oldest cup competition in Nigeria, played at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos. Canada held 2015 and 2016 Copa America champions Chile to a 0-0 draw in Orlando, which was enough to see the Canadians into the latest 8. Chile needed a victory to leapfrog the Canadians into the knockout rounds, but were left with a mountain to climb early in the game when Gabriel Suazo was dismissed for a second yellow card after only 27 minutes. And to wrap up the News Express, a look at the major stories. President Tinubu has condemned Borno suicide attacks with a pledge to deal with criminals. And the Business Nigerian Economic Summit Group has said the Central Bank of Nigeria's move to end price verification system for foreign exchange transactions. On the foreign scene, France has gone to the polls in high-stakes parliamentary elections. And on sports, Abia Warriors coach Asad Fatih responsible for his team's defeat. That's the package on News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. On Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on the screen. I'm Edika Mike. Many thanks for watching. See you again.